Hey guys, Gino here from Market Movers. So today's video I'm going to do a price comparison between living in Sydney, Australia and living in Dublin, Ireland. So this comparison, I'm just going to look at a few different things. I'm going to look at the cost of living, I'm going to look at the quality of life, I'm going to look at how much food costs, how much your rent costs, how much wages you can make, and I'm just going to, I've never been to Sydney, I'm just going to look at numbers, look at figures, I'm going to give my opinion, how I think it looks, and hopefully you guys like this kind of video. So this is not financial advice, I'm not telling you to move across the world, and this is just my opinion based on stuff that I read on the internet and I want to share with you guys. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the notification bell and subscribe, and leave us a comment and let us know what other places you'd like us to compare, and we'll get straight into it. Thanks guys. Okay guys, let's get started in Dublin. So we're looking on daft.ie, which is a good site in Ireland obviously to look up rentals and to buy and rent property on. So we're starting here, we're on €1,500 per month. I'm going to make myself a bit smaller. €1,500 per month, 12 Lexington Street, Dublin 7. So Dublin 7, I think you're probably about 3 or 4 kilometers from the city centre if you're looking here. Yeah, like Trinity College Dublin there, that's pretty central, St. Stephen's Green, so you're about 3 or 4 kilometers away, slightly north of the city. If you look at the street view, we'll go onto it. Seems all pretty normal, nice old, a lot of these kind of old looking buildings in Dublin look pretty nice. If you go down you've got like hostels and laundry place, you've pubs, barber shops, different things, so like you've got a nice pub there, like you look like you're pretty central, a good location, you got stuff around you. Parking wise you probably don't have any or very minimal, but you're right in the city centre, so you've got a lot of buses and taxis, and probably the Lewis isn't too far away from you either. So that's just Lexington Street, Dublin. You're talking €1,500 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. Now I've looked at this apartment already. 2-bedroom, it's a 2-bedroom with 4 beds, but you'll more than likely be looking to just have a bedroom each if you're renting this place, I'd imagine. So this is the first bedroom. You've got 2 single beds that look like they have no bed frames. You've got this chest of drawers and a wardrobe which has been half blocked by the bed and is quite small. You've got these what look like single glazed windows, real old style, with these old red curtains and blinds that wouldn't block any light. You've got a sitting room. This looks like an undercarpet. This doesn't look like a genuine, like a proper carpet. A real old looking horrible couch. Some chairs like you might see in an old school. Terrible curtain. And again, big old windows. In the same room, you've got your kitchen area. So this looks like your dining room table, where you can sit and eat your dinner. Right beside where the TV is and the couch. And then imagine this is just on the other side of that. You've got your kitchen, so you've got an electric cooker here with an oven. You've got a tiny fridge with a freezer. You've got you've got a sink, so obviously some presses and stuff like that. This must be the master bedroom. So you've got a single bed again, old frame, all these marks on the walls from not being painted properly. Again, this looks like either a wardrobe or maybe where a boiler is. A few chests of drawers, old windows again, nothing too exciting here. This is the same room again, so you're sharing a room. You've got a chair and a table and more storage here, so this does not look like a very, very nice place to live, if I'm being honest. The area seems fine, but the quality of that apartment is pretty rubbish. Minimum 1 year rent, they give you nearly no information. Great location, apparently recently refurbished. Maybe recently in the 80s. Bins included in rent. Sure, bins aren't that expensive, but okay, so you get your bins included for €1,500 a month. It's nothing to get excited about. So you're talking, yeah, $1,500 a month between 2 people. So that's Lexington Street. And we go to Sydney. So I just found this place. So it's $600 per week. I'll do the exchange rate for you in a minute, but it's not too much more expensive. So this is in 4 Bridge Street, Sydney. Now I've never been to Sydney, so I don't really know, but I've just tried to see how close it was to Bondi. I know that's probably a pretty popular place in Sydney. This looks like it's right in the center of the city. Sorry, I'll just get rid of that. This looks right in the center of the city. From what I can see, you have your harbour here and you have your opera house. they usually have this little mark on the name, pretty central. So it looks central. It's about 8 kilometers from the beach. If you look at the street, seems like a pretty normal street. Got some friendly Australians to wave at you. Big buildings, so you're obviously pretty central. And if you just come up the street maybe a little bit, you've got what looks like a nice cafe. You've got obviously trams seem to go right along here, so you're sorted out with trams and things like that. Yeah, so it seems like a pretty good location to me. The apartment is gorgeous, so it's quite a high quality build, and you can see you've got a tiled floor, you've got this nice table, nice paintings on the wall. Walls look freshly painted. The bedroom, again, double bedroom, nice looking windows, they look fairly new. All this matches, looks pretty well. Your kitchen, you've got a large fridge, freezer, a dishwasher. You've got an electric cooker which really blends in with this kind of countertop breakfast bar where you could eat. A single bedroom, you could probably fit a double bed in there, but you know, a single bed is not bad. And a lovely bathroom. You couldn't see a bathroom in the last place, so I could only imagine how terrible the bathroom is in the place in Dublin. Yes, you've got a rooftop swimming pool, I guess, with a little hot tub or jacuzzi or whatever that is. That looks absolutely stunning, and the heat in Sydney, you definitely make use of that. This seems to be your lobby where you might come in, so I imagine they have doormen probably for the apartments. Pretty safe. This is the apartment building then, so that looks absolutely stunning. Pretty central, as I said, and a busy street. It's just some pictures of Sydney opera houses and stuff like that. So we're talking 600 a week, so 600 by 4.33, so you usually multiply a week by 4.3 to get a month, and that's about 2,598 euros, I think, or dollars, so we'll say 2,598, so you're talking 1,600 euros. So you're paying an extra 100 euros a month, 50 quid each, but the quality, you couldn't compare that quality. To get that quality in Dublin, I couldn't imagine what you'd be paying. Let's see, can we find something real quick there? We'll go. I'd nearly say we go high to low, like you won't really get anything like that, I'd imagine. 2 bedroom, 2 baths, and that's much bigger. I don't think that's a million miles away from what you're looking at. Yeah, I'd say that's a fair comparison, relatively anyway, on a quick search like that. So you're talking, that is 980 euros a week, so that's over double the Australian dollars what you're paying in Australia. So that's just to give you a rough idea of what you're kind of dealing with in Dublin compared to Sydney, but you know, that's probably not exactly like for like. But anyway, just I got these pictures up. You all know what Dublin looks like if you're from Ireland. You've been to Dublin. It's a nice looking city in the centre, especially. They're only going to show nice pictures here anyway. Probably a bit rough, a little bit of a rough areas, but that's the same anywhere. Sydney, again, never been. Looks like a nice place, but all these pictures are always going to look good. So I'm sure there's plenty of rough areas in Sydney as well. Get into the nitty gritty. So I found this website Numbeo. It's actually pretty handy. You can compare loads of different things. So to give you indices difference, so consumer prices in Sydney are a little bit higher, 2.5% than in Dublin without rent. Consumer prices including rent are lower than in Dublin. The rent prices in Sydney are 5% lower than in Dublin, and restaurant prices in Sydney are 15.9% lower in Dublin. Grocery prices in Sydney are 17.3% higher than in Dublin, and local purchasing power in Sydney is 35.4% higher than in Dublin. Like, that gives a that kind of sums it up. We'll just break it down a few quick things. So for a McDonald's meal, it's about 15% less, but for a bottle of water, it's about 10% more. But again, you look at these percentages, they look quite big, but when you look at the figures, you're talking 150 to 166 and stuff like that. You're really breaking it down. I'd say they're kind of quite similar. Like your bananas are a bit dearer, but your bottle of wine, your alcohol is a bit cheaper. But in Ireland, they have quite expensive tax on the alcohol anyway. So transport, again, you seem to be fairly, hit or miss, like 34% less for fuel, for petrol, and a new car will cost you about 25% less, same equivalent Golf or a sedan or a Toyota Corolla, but then your taxi is 35% more. So your bills, utility bills, 30% less for your basic electricity heating. Now they probably use very little heating over in Australia, probably more air conditioning units. I don't know if they're cheaper or more expensive to run. prepaid mobile tariff. No one uses that. Everyone has a deal nowadays, so that's probably irrelevant. And your internet's again 50 quid, 45 euros, nothing to get excited about. Gym memberships 25% more in Australia, but I'm sure you could pay 50 quid for a gym membership in Ireland as well. Childcare seems to be more expensive to send your kids to school, about 42%. That's significant enough. And your clothes again, 18% less for jeans, 29% for summer dresses. So these are all, they all kind of cancel each other out. Your salary, so your expected salary in per month in Sydney average is 3,768 euros, whereas 2,800 in Dublin. And that's obviously average. There's people that make way less and way more than that as well. Your crime rates, so according to this website, it seems to be a lot higher in Dublin. If you look at your crime indices over here, we'll see what's high. So high in Dublin is crime increasing in the past 3 years. Higher in Dublin, moderate in Sydney. They've got no high in Sydney. They've got 2 highs in Dublin. Problem people using or dealing drugs in Dublin, high. Yeah, that's expected. That is pretty clear when you walk around Dublin or any major city in Ireland. That's pretty evident. And I don't know about Australia, as I said, but according to this website, which is recently updated, it seems to be that these cases are quite low. Most things in Sydney seem to be quite low with that. So then the last one, without boring you to death completely, quality of life comparison between Sydney and Australia. According to this website, the quality of life is higher in Sydney. So you're looking at, you got 2 highs there. You've got all moderates and a very high, but a very high cost of living index, climate index. So yeah, the climate index, I suppose, depends what you're looking for. Ireland is pretty neutral weather. You've got a good bit of rain, you got a little bit of sun. You don't have any major issues with weather, whereas in Australia it can get very hot, but also you have nice hot weather regularly and stuff like that, so you can go to the beach more and do more outdoor things. You get less rain. When it rains in Australia, it rains pretty heavy, or in Sydney, but I suppose you do get a lot less rain than in Ireland. You have more common, more regular rain here. Quality of life index, so they seem, it's not miles apart from each other, but Sydney seems to be that bit higher. So what you're looking at there, guys, in my opinion, you've got your cost of living in Sydney to Dublin is pretty similar, pretty much the same, but your quality of life, I think, for your cost of living looks higher. I'm not telling you to move across the world. I know there's lots of other things. You've got to pay for visas, you've got to pay for flights, you're away from your family and friends. If anything happens back home, you're a long way from home. But a lot of people our age do look at leaving for a few years, or sometimes not coming back, but a lot of people come back as well. And it's definitely a good website. That website was pretty good. That Numbeo website was pretty good, pretty helpful. You can break down any place in the world. It will get into detail, and you do your own research as well, like I did with the apartments. But it looks to me like the quality you get for your money in Australia seems to be higher. Quality of life seems to be better. Weather based, maybe crime based seems to be a bit better, but the cost of living is probably the same, more or less. Some expensive in other parts and not in others. So guys, if you like this kind of video, please let us know. It's actually really fun to research this stuff, so I'd love to make more of them. If you have any cities you'd like me to compare, and also I could start doing ones maybe places I've been, so that I can give more of a personal opinion on the area, because it's all great saying how good Sydney is, and I've never been there. So, and if you've ever been, I'd love to hear from you in the comments what you think of Sydney and compare it to Dublin. If you've been to both places, I'd love to know what you think. So guys, thank you so much for listening again. We really appreciate all the support we've been getting so far. We're putting out about 3 videos a week, and we're really loving doing it. So if you want to support us, just hit the like button, share these videos with your friends, hit the subscribe button, and we really appreciate all the support so far. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.